For many of us, the first time we discover nervous system regulation, it feels like a revelation. Finally, a way to calm the storm inside, to quiet the racing thoughts, to bring a sense of control to the waves of anxiety or overwhelm that seem to take over at the most inconvenient times. And while nervous system regulation is a profound tool for healing, there's one way we often misuse it. One that can leave us feeling stuck and confused as to why our attempts to regulate aren't working. And that's when we use regulation to try to push our difficult feelings away or get rid of them. So if you've been struggling to regulate your nervous system, but not getting as much relief or seeing as much progress as you'd like, then take a moment and consider if this is part of your motivation. It's really common, especially when we're new to regulation and emotional healing, that we try to use nervous system regulation as a way to not feel our emotions. And that's totally understandable, right? Of course, we don't want to feel discomfort, anxiety, or grief. We don't really want to sit with the parts of us that ache, that hold our old wounds, that feel confusing or overwhelming or sad. It makes sense that we would reach for regulation tools with the hope that they will take away what feels like too much. But here's the paradox. The more we resist our emotions, the more they stay stubbornly lodged within us. And suppressing, judging, and rejecting our emotions is by its very nature dysregulating. It creates internal stress and tension when we tell ourselves we shouldn't feel something, or when we try to override our real and natural reactions to life. To get a sense of what I mean, try this experiment with me really quickly. Take a breath and notice something that you're feeling right now. It could be an emotion or a body sensation. For example, right now my jaw feels tight. Now say to yourself, I'm not feeling this. So for my example, I'll say, my jaw is not tight right now. How does that feel in your body? It almost always creates more stress inside. So take it another step with me and resist whatever you're feeling a little bit more. So I'll say, I hate this jaw tension. There must be something wrong with me that I have all this tension in my jaw. I never want to feel this again. Relax already. So try that with your feeling. Feel how resisting your feeling affects your body. Feel your breath and your posture. And generally, this feels pretty awful. So now try the opposite with me. Now just acknowledge what you're really feeling. Like, my jaw feels really tight right now. How does acknowledging what you're feeling feel different? What shifts within you when you just let your jaw be as tense as it is, or you just let that feeling be acknowledged? Feel the difference in your breath and your posture. What changed? So this is an example of how trying to deny or suppress our actual feelings is inherently dysregulating. It inherently creates more tension within. But when we stop fighting our feelings and instead turn toward them with curiosity and compassion, something profound happens. Our feelings, just like all parts of us, are seeking acknowledgement and care. And when we listen, truly listen, they soften. They become less overwhelming because they no longer have to shout for our attention. Instead of being stuck in a cycle of suppression and reactivity, we enter into a relationship with our emotions where they can be understood, integrated, and ultimately released. Plus, our emotions carry important information for us. If we know how to listen to them, our feelings tell us about our limiting beliefs, unprocessed emotions, past pain, unmet needs, and subconscious commitments. Even our most uncomfortable emotions can be true guides on our path toward wholeness and healing. So, if the point of nervous system regulation isn't to get rid of our feelings, what is the point of it then? And how can we do it in a way that moves the needle more and more? The real goal of nervous system regulation is to help us come out of reactive patterns of stress and trauma that we're stuck in, so that we can have more healthy, flexible, and functional responses to life. Nervous system regulation increases our capacity to be in states of relaxation, calm, happiness, and connection. It helps us have more safety and internal resources to deal with ourselves and our lives with compassion, curiosity, discernment, and perspective. And when done correctly, it expands our ability to process our emotions in a way that helps them move through us and release naturally. So, today's somatic meditation is a practice in meeting your emotions in a way that increases your acceptance and understanding. It's a soothing and regulating somatic emotional processing exercise that will help you turn toward your feelings and connect with them in a way that leaves you feeling more whole, more supported, and more regulated on a deep level. And you'll likely feel relief, as this way of approaching your emotions actually helps them move through you. Welcome to Somatic Healing Meditations, the podcast that helps you regulate your nervous system, deepen your healing journey, and feel better in your body. I'm Karenna with Hello Inner Light, and I'm so happy you're here. I'm a somatic healing coach who specializes in compassionate, body-centered processing that helps you heal the wounds that are holding you back. So if that's the kind of content you need more of in your life, please subscribe to this podcast and join me every Friday on this beautiful journey out of your head and into your more embodied and authentic self. And if you want to learn even more about how to connect with your body and emotions in a deep and supportive way, I have a free mini course called the Feel It to Heal It mini course that's available on my website. In 5 powerful mini lessons, it will help you drop in, deepen your compassionate self-understanding, and find more clarity and healing on your journey. Now, before we get started, here's a quick word from the sponsors that make all this free content possible. Now, let's dive into this somatic emotional processing exercise to help you regulate more deeply. So, finding a time and a space where it's safe and comfortable to close your eyes and turn your attention within. And we're going to begin this somatic emotional processing exercise with some soothing and regulating breathing, just to come into connection with our bodies in a safe and comfortable way. So with your eyes closed, bring your awareness more and more to your breath. Notice that you can feel the air moving in and out through your nostrils. Notice that you can feel the rhythm of your breath, causing your chest and tummy to rise and fall. And imagining on your next breath that you could breathe in through your heart and out through your belly button. Feeling the space or the distance between your heart and your belly button. Imagining that you could breathe in through your heart and out through your shoulders on both sides. And again, imagining that you could feel the space or the distance between your heart and your shoulders. Imagining on your next breath that you could breathe in through your right shoulder and out through your left hip. Feeling the space or the distance between those parts. Breathing in through your left shoulder and out through your right hip. And again, feeling the space or the distance. Now, as you surrender even more into whatever you're feeling in your body right now, imagine that you could breathe in through your knees and out through the soles of your feet. Feeling the space or the distance. And now just breathing in and out through your heart. Just letting your awareness drop even deeper into your body and into your feelings. Saying hello to your body. And saying hello to any feelings that you notice. And just know that there's no way to do this wrong. There's never a wrong thing to feel. There's never a wrong way to feel. So you're softening your awareness even more and more into this moment. And noticing what's here. You might notice body sensations. You might notice emotions. Just tuning in to whatever you're feeling. And now I'm going to guide you to feel your feelings in a more body-centered way. So just begin to notice the feeling that's calling your attention the most. Is that feeling more on the right or the left? or maybe it's centralized, or maybe it's everywhere. And now noticing if that feeling that's calling your attention the most right now is more deep or superficial. Or maybe it's both or neither. How big is this feeling that's calling your attention? Or how much space does it take up within or around you? Noticing the height, width, thickness, and shape of this feeling. Does this feeling have a color or a quality? And how would you describe this feeling? Like, what descriptive words would fit? And as always, you may have answers to all of these questions, or you may not. But the questions themselves help you tune in more and more deeply to your body and to your feelings. So now, as you continue to breathe, your imagination is just going to take your awareness closer to this feeling. It's like you draw closer to it, and you notice more and more about it. And now I'm going to guide you through some questions and some sentence leads to help you understand and accept this feeling more and more. So we'll start with some questions. I call them Iffirmations, to help you accept your feelings more and more. So go ahead and repeat these questions after me. What if it's okay that I'm feeling this right now? What if lots of people feel like this sometimes? What if there's nothing wrong with me for feeling this way? What would it be like to soften my heart to myself right now? What would it be like to soften my heart toward this feeling right now? What if all of my feelings are real and valid? What would it be like to acknowledge what I'm really feeling and stay connected to myself? What if I can embrace this feeling as an invitation to go deeper? What would it be like to understand this feeling more deeply? What if this feeling actually makes sense in a way? And now, bringing your awareness even closer to whatever feeling you're noticing. And finish the following sentences, just letting your words come forward. What if this feeling makes sense because... Breathing and feeling and finishing this sentence. What I'm really feeling deep down is... Breathing and feeling and finishing this sentence. Of course, some part of me feels this way because... Breathing and feeling, just letting your words come forward and finish this sentence. What I really want or need when I feel this way is... Breathing and feeling and finishing this sentence. What I'm realizing now is breathing and finishing this sentence. How it feels to realize this is breathing and feeling. And now just notice anything else that wants to be noticed, or acknowledge anything else that wants to be acknowledged. Now, when you feel ready, just bring your awareness back to all of you. We've been focused so much on this feeling. Now bring your awareness back to your whole self, right here and right now. And just notice how you feel now. What has shifted within you? What feels different to you? And what looks different to you? And what was it like to turn toward your feeling and to accept it and understand it more and more? Breathing. And before we bring this exercise to a close, ask your body if there's anything else it wants or needs, and just listen for any answer you get. And now, slowly and gently, and when you feel ready, just bring some gentle movement back into your body. Maybe you want to gently stretch or wiggle. And gently opening your eyes. Great work. So, I'm curious, how did this somatic emotional processing exercise feel to you? How do you feel different from when we started? And what do you understand now that you didn't understand before? Please let me know in the comments. I would love to hear from you. Thank you so much for joining me today. As a reminder, you're invited to enroll in my free mini course, the Feel It to Heal It mini course, to experience even more regulation, inner connection, and clarity. If you enjoyed today's episode, it would mean so much to me if you would subscribe to this podcast and also rate and review it. You could also send this episode to a friend who you think would enjoy it. And don't forget to join me every Friday on this beautiful journey out of your head and into your more embodied and authentic self.